Oh, that's... Evening. Sorry, I just did not expect to get the message as soon as I started. So, first things first. I've got a delivery. Right then, so let's get myself geared up. Because I now have some new, much stronger gear. Where is it? Arena Skeeter. That's it, let's see how this stuff looks on me. Like an edgelord. Right, so before anything else, there's one other thing I believe I need to do. And that is warp over to Radzahan and get myself some new materia. I'm going to be doing a quick side quest before we do the raids. Right then. That is slightly the health difference is a bit noticeable. Right then. See, I've got enough materia. Should do. Right, what do I need for this? Got that. Yeah. That. Whoops. Wrong thing. Might take me a moment. Races, let's have a look. Hang on a sec, I've just... Right, I was using the wrong materia there. Luckily I can retrieve that immediately. I'm still on the fucking... No, I'm not. That was on the wrong screen still. Right. So I just dropped a few windows over. For that one. Seven's eye then. Oops. Need crit. One of them. There we go, that's that set up already. Gear it up, and let's swap it to the correct lamp. Where is it? That's the one. Yeah. Right then, and now... I'm gonna go with Longinus for a bit, I think. Right, so, for now, what I'm gonna go do, is that quest there. Shadow of the Pasts. Right then. So I sent a message to someone. So I need to be going to Megaduta. Or Megaduta. Don't know how to pronounce it. Let's get this new side quest done. Might give me a chance to test out my new weapons as well. Ah, Mazatello. You couldn't have appeared at a better time. See, while out patrolling the city, I chanced sight a void scent. Yeah? I immediately chased it down with the intent of eliminating it, but something about it struck me as odd. Hello, Mecha! For one, it made no move to defend itself, but simply sat there, jiggling. Which is why, against my better judgment, I decided to capture it instead. Having travelled to the void, I dare say you have considerable knowledge of its denizens. If you have a moment, might I trouble you for your opinion on the creature's unusual behaviour? Alright. Truly grateful. Now if you'd follow me, the creature is being held in the Hall of the Radiant Host. Oh, brilliant. Luckily, we got a warp there. I forgot to do this quest on Tuesday, when the stuff came out. I would go do island stuff, but I get the feeling I still can't get in. Right then. Here it is. Surprisingly docile even when I captured it. And there have been no reports of attacks prior to that. Yes, I remember you. You were at Troya. Please, you must help me. What do you need help with? Oh, you do understand me. I understand the model tongue well enough, but I don't have a mouth to produce the sounds. It's been a struggle to convey my thoughts. But not anymore. You can help me. Yes, you can. He needs a hand with something, no idea what. You can converse with a voice then? Amazing. Can you ask why it came here? Alright. Right, little guy, what are you doing here then? When you and Yor stormed the castle, I was caught up in the fighting and died. In time I returned, but I tired of fighting. So I fled, using the gate to your world. Having just been reborn, however, my essence hadn't fully bound together yet. So when I emerged from the gate, it was several sundered selves. Oh. Frightened and confused, they scattered. Following their trail led me here, my diminutive size allowing me to remain largely unseen. But by the same token, I can do little more than sneak about. Each of us was weak and powerless. That's why we consumed one another in the first place. Together we were strong. I want you to help me find all of me so that I can be whole again. Firstly, what did you intend to do in this world? Why, live here, of course. I've always wanted to. We still remember the past, you see. Still remember when we were mortals. We long to have that life again, but we need your help. I think it's... Right, we need help, sadly by reuniting us. We won't try to devour anyone who, even when we're whole, we swear. We wish to learn more about the Void, yes? There's much we can teach you about those who rule its domains, about their past. Find the others and they'll tell you all they know. No eating, no tricks. Do we have a bargain? Yeah, okay. So it's got up to our world to escape conflict, now searches for the rest of itself? I understand Void Center quite reliable when it comes to fulfilling a pact. I dare say having one as an ally would benefit our research into their world. Very well. If you will be so kind as to search for its kin, I will consult my superiors on how best to deal with them. Alright, as long as it doesn't involve knifing them. By that I take we have a bargain. Good, good. I sense 4 others close by. When you find them, you need only point them in this direction. Once they sense my presence, I can guide them the rest of the way. Alright. Right, so I've got to go find a load of these eyes. Wayward Hectai. What's that? I asked you to search for me in exchange for knowledge about powerful void scent? I was still wanting this and that, but I suppose a deal's a deal. Those men over there, soldiers are they not? We used to have soldiers in our world too. There were lots of them during the Contra Memoria. Ah, back from Whedon's warding, are you? I heard you fought well against the voids that slipped through. Come now. I merely did my duty. Haven't we all sworn to protect our nation, no matter the cost? Protect our nation. How familiar those words. Where was it that I heard them? Ah yes, it was the early days of the Contra Memoria. The enemy had conjured a terrible eidolon that laid siege to a fortress. The garrison was made up of ordinary soldiers, men and women with no remarkable abilities, but led by their valiant commander they fought bravely and desperately. They had to last until the Memoriat arrived, the commander told them. Needed to hold out no matter the cost. The Memoriat did eventually arrive, but not soon enough for the soldiers. Oh. That's how I used to dress in game. Not just how I used to dress, that was the hair I used to use. Having struck down the Eidolon, the Memoriat and his servants searched the castle for survivors. They found only the dead. But just when they had given up all hope, a faint groaning reached their ears. They rushed over to the sound and cleared away debris. To find a lone survivor, the garrison commander. Seriously, that's the set I used to use. I still got that in my glamours. And again, that is the hair I used to use in game. Instead of joy, however, the sight of the man filled them with anger. You soldiers are slaughtered to a man, yet there's barely a scratch on you. What's the meaning of this? The Eidolon was savage but mindless. It was a simple thing to hide myself beneath fallen debris. Hide? As commander, you had a duty to your men. You were supposed to put their lives before your own. Spare me! My duty was to ensure the fortress stood, and it did. Besides, my death would have received nothing, honour be damned. No, I'm sworn to protect our nation, and to do that I must live. It isn't my fate to fall here. Isn't your fate, you say? Is he? Merely unconscious. Come on, let us bury the soldiers. Their commander with them. Oh, fate will decide what becomes of him, whether he lives or dies. Very well, my lord. Funeral rites were later held for the fallen. But solemn tears quickly gave way to horrified screams as a body emerged from the earth. The commander. I can't die. I must live, the man is said to have declared. The people thought him a demon, a dishevelled horror muttering curses as he wandered off to regions unknown. Scarmiglione, they called him, a name befitting his newfound grisly visage. A name befitting a monster. Well, well, he's permanently gone now. We thought we buried him deep. But a mortal's desire to live is not to be underestimated. You're a mortal, so I expect you understand that desire. Well, that concludes my tale. I'd best rejoin myself. If you'll excuse me. Now it's squidging off to go meet its hole. And where's the other eye? There we go. It's over here. So this is where mortals consume ether. Dreading loneliness more than hunger. Not very like me. Don't mind though, I'd like to observe the mortals a while longer. The food here is simply sublime. Why I feel strong with every bite as if the Merca themselves were granting me their blessing. Food is tasted, that's true enough, but no food is so sublime as to be a substitute for proper training, my friend. One moment, I need to put a shirt on, I'm a bit chilly. Strong with every bite, every feed. For my part, out of the bargain, I will tell you about how we void scent becomes strong. Simply put, it depends on the quality and quantity of ether we harbour. When the world was consumed by darkness, the heroes known as Memoriates arose as powerful void scent. In contrast, the vast majority of mortals, powerless and unremarkable as they were, became ordinary void scent, like me. There were exceptions, of course, but one in particular I'll never forget. Scarmiglione. Never had I seen a void scent so craven. Even when pushed to the brink of starvation, he would prey only on those weaker than himself. He subsisted on scant leavings and lived in constant fear and hunger. In the face of danger, a void scent stronger than himself, fleeing was the only option. But a day came when he found his way barred. How pitiful. How pitiful. Such overwhelming ether. Who is this? You fled instead of facing your foe. Why? Why? I'm too weak. Why else? I would have been devoured. So you had enough strength. So had you enough strength, you would have stood your ground. Very well then. What's happening? Yes, I feel it. The power swelling within me. Lo, your foe returns. What have you done to me? I granted you but a sliver of ether. 'Twas the power you were already possessed that you defeat. 'Twas with the power you already possessed that you defeated your foe. I possessed such power. Fear had clouded your eyes, blinded you to the strength you had attained feeding on the weak. If you would free yourself from fear, then join me. You shall have a greater cause to live for, and know true power. Curious, in a world without death, the fear of it could be the key to great strength. The knight recognized this, recognized the voice and potential, and thus did he take him into his service. Determined as he is to live, wouldn't surprise me if he was still somewhere out there. He'd be even more powerful now, I expect, from all the devouring he would have done since. Unlike your world, eating actually makes you stronger in ours. Well, I must be going now. The others are waiting. So that's the story of Scarmiglione. Scarmiglione. There's going to be one up near Kama. Some quite interesting lore here. Why the self grows lonely, you say? My apologies. It wasn't my intent to seek out the others, but I was distracted by the bickering pair of mortals yonder. My goodness, but there's been some colourful language. The hell's with your father? You shouldn't need his permission to leave the god's damned house. Please, mind your language. What would father say if we were to hear you? It's always father this, father that with you. I'm sick of it. You're a woman now. Bloody act like one for a change. Colourful language, yes. Yes. Not from the girl, oh no. No, though. Oh no, she appears to be quite well bred. Just hope she's happier than the girl I knew long, long ago. That girl was born to a family of thugs who suddenly found themselves nobility. She was raised as a noblewoman and had servants tending to her every need. But in the end, she was merely a beautiful bird kept in a gilded cage. Wanting her to be a proper lady, her parents presided over all aspects of her life. They decided everything for her, telling her what to say or do. They remind me a little bit of Rebecca in a way. With Rebecca's parents at least. Chafing from the fetters of her restricted life, she solicited her handmaiden's aid and stole outside the manor, where she enjoyed a moment of bliss unbeknownst to her parents. Or so she thought. It was not long before her father dragged her back to her room, barring the door and windows, denying her even the simple pleasure of an afternoon breeze. Even a bird in a cage may chirp freely, but she wouldn't even suffer to give voice to her desires. But she wouldn't be deterred. Having once tasted sweet freedom, she yearned for more. And one day she succeeded in sneaking out of the manor a second time. You're late. I was beginning to think you wouldn't come. If you're expecting your friends, I'm afraid they're not coming. Father, what do you mean they're not coming? If I had known that some miscreants were cavorting in these parts, I would think that they dared to consort with my daughter. Well, you needn't worry about them anymore. They're food for the fishes now. How can you do this, Father? Why must you torment me so? Know your place, girl. You're a means for our family to gain influence, and I won't have you sullying yourself with riffraff. You will not leave your chambers save with my permission, nor will you disobey me again. If you do so, there will be severe consequences. Am I understood? I said, am I understood? To hell. What did you say? I said go to hell! Ugh. Got what were coming to him. Oh, to think it could be so exhilarating to speak my mind. To do as I please. No more living in a cage. From this moment on, I'm free. Free as the wind. The young woman struck out on her own. And in her travels discovered her true calling. Not in the halls of lords and ladies, but on the battlefield. She became a force of nature, famed for her striking beauty which belied a terrible savagery. And with this life she also claimed a new name. Barbaricia. Barbaricia. Oh, I figured that was her. Indeed, she found her freedom. But did she also find her happiness? I wonder. Suppose I'll never know. Nor does it matter, for the world that once was is no more. Oh, but goodness me, I'd better rejoin the others. I kind of understand where he's coming from. Authoritarian stuff, parenting and stuff like that, controlling your kids even late into their life, deciding everything. I cannot stand that. I can't stand that. Something I have a real, well, hate of. Right, last one. Well, there we go. Mecha, this is Zero. The lass in the hat.
way the sky changes colour with the passage of time. It's probably a mundane thing to you, but to me it's a marvel. I dare say I won't soon grow bored in this world.
Get yourself an airship somewhere, girl. There we go.
Ah, what a refreshing breeze. I'm return to the others. They should come here. Would you look at this beautiful boundless sky? Mortals take to the air from here, do they not? Would that I had wings to soar among the clouds myself? But we Vordsent are not want to roam, you see. The mightiest among them carve out domains, while the rest labour to stay in their good graces. Now the master of the domain seldom ventures outside, for it sees in one territory that one is strongest. For some, however, such confinement proved trying, as was the case for a certain Voidsent I knew. I speak of the free-spirited terror, Babaricia. When she first established her domain, she whiled away the days waiting for her minions to bring her prey. The ether amassed from these offerings were devoted to the singular pleasure of caring for her silky flowing locks, but the resources of her domain were not without their limits. It was only when none remained to oppose her that she realised she was a prisoner in her own domain. Unless she broke free, she would inevitably wither away, alone. Not knowing what to do, she had fallen into the depths of despair when the hand of salvation came to pull her out. At this rate, my precious hair will frazzle and fray. Had I only the strength to leave my domain.
If strength is your desire, that is easily granted.
Who are you? That zone of power surging through me.
And what will you do with it? What is it you desire?
What I desire? What I desire is...
You would move your very domain. Impressive.
That I can do such a thing. What have you done to me?
I granted you ether, nothing more. It was your will that made it possible.
My will.
Even so, where you should go, there is naught but darkness. What could your destination possibly be?
Destination? I have no need of such. I wish but to be free like the wind.
In a world that has met
its end, rare indeed is the soul that desires freedom so ardently that it could will her very domain to move. Recognizing this quality, the knight would grant her more power, and a place of command in his mighty army.
This is lore, and it's quite interesting.
A story worthy of our bargain, I trust? I might have had more to tell had I not fallen off her domain. Seems you mortals also have a fondness for flying. Certainly like to try riding one of these airships of yours. Perhaps another time, where the cells will be a blubbering mess if I don't hurry and rejoin them. You found the last of the Voidsent. Time to head back to the Hall of the Radiant Host. Right then.
Yeah. Right.
After this, time to go do the raids. I've been looking forward to these. Thank you so much for finding me. I hope the knowledge I had to share was worthy of our agreement. How did you come to know the Archfiends? My other selves lived quite disparate lives, both as mortals and void-sent, though I suppose it is rather fortuitous that they crossed paths with such powerful void-sent. But more importantly, what they could offer was worthy of our bargain. For that I'm glad. Yeah, that was good info. All that remains now is for us to rejoin and become whole again. Huh? Is this not all of me? Huh? There can be no other explanation. There's still more of me lost out there, somewhere. But I don't sense them. Where could they have gone? Might have to do a bit more looking around for them. I mean, there's more of them walking around, wandering about. By the sisters. At the very least, if at the very least, if what you say is true, they pose no threat to the people. Until the others can be found, we'll keep these 5 under our care. Alright. Should I sense the others nearby? I hope we can count on you to find them too. Of course. Right then. To Charlian. Norvrand, Ilzabad, Gashi. Ah, here. So basically, this one's other. So, Old Charlian, I believe it's somewhere in Labyrinthos. So I think Aporia. I think that's it. Right, FFX is still crafting and we're doing these on my own. Oh. Yeah. Right then, I got it. So Raph is coming. I'm not going to record myself farming this because that will probably drive you pretty mad. Right then. Taylor! Made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers, and I must say, Professor Claudian, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Ah yes, of course. My apologies, Taylor. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I've quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation. In that case, perhaps we just start from the beginning. With a crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides, containing the memories of a party yet unknown. They cried out for deliverance from Pandaemonium, where the ancients kept volatile creations under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facilities from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity wrought of mythic beast and powerful mage. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions Themis and Dericlonios was sufficient to restore order to the circles of Asphodelos, but the greater threat remains. In the depths of Pandaemonium, at present yes stirs, its intentions and identity shrouded in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not?
Yep.
Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detached an anomalous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memories stored within. Analysis of this pattern suggested a feeling of loss or yearning. Specifically, the yearning to be made whole. Indeed, ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This can only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing the matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, will this expedition be carried out only by us, or would Taylor grace us with his protection? I'm afraid he has more pressing matters to attend to, my dear Rusino. Namely, to seek out the secrets which lie nestled within Pandaemonium, where all this began. From all that we've heard, it appears that time traversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. It would be prudent to take it on occasion, in case there are any unanticipated changes. As for you, my loyal assistants, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloguing the ancient creations. You can't mean. Do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why, yes. That would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I've already commissioned a ship and a pilot for that very purpose. I trust you two to take good care of the laboratory in my absence. I apologise for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudian tends to become blind to all else. Indeed, and he's been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he'd spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard. Much as it spoke to only to you last night, none but the Professor has been able to capture its ethereal yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely after some time alone, he'll come to remember how valuable you are. The search for this crystal seems to be a simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return I'm certain he'll be back to his usual self. As for you, Taylor, it may be best to return to Pandaemonium as Professor Claudian suggested. Speaking of which, I did have a request of my own to make. Travelling to Pandaemonium requires you to pass through Elpis, correct? There's something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined within Pandaemonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Elpis before being consigned to their shackles. And if we know anything about the ancients, it's that they would have kept thorough records of the results. Ah, brilliant! Delving into these records may shed light on creatures Taylor has yet to encounter. If your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing blindly forward with only his strength to carry the day. For your own sake as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. I'll see what I can do. I might start giving them a female voice. I didn't realise she was. I thought she were male. Until she curtsied. Right then. To Boitanoicus. I'm assuming that's where it is. Right then. That was a bloody good guess! Right then. Here we go. This is going to be... I think I'm going to enjoy this. I like the raids for this game. They're a bit more challenging than normal fights. Ah, I did not expect to meet you here of all places. You You seek records of Pandaemonium's creations? Master Themis has just finished perusing just the very same. I should not be surprised that we both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I've saved the trouble and gleaned what information I could. Ah, so you know each other. I was dreading having to once again scour the archives, but perhaps instead I'll rest for a spell. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave. As should we, for I've undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandaemonium's protective walls continue to be assailed by our unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Ericthonius' capacity to watch over Asphodelos while I'm away. He works diligently to master interment, that he might deliver the creations back to their cages by his own hand. I thought it best to give him some time to hone his craft. And since fate has brought us both here, I would ask that you accompany me while I attend another matter. More idle suspicions that I would like to chase down. Rest assured it will not take long. I simply have a few questions to ask an acquaintance of mine. Come, he has agreed to meet us near the Nairs to Pandaemonium. Oh, there's someone in red mage gear. I will fully admit I do like that setup. I do like the red mage setup. Right then. Over to Pandy. You know, it does make me a bit homesick, this. Kinda. Pandaemonium on Final Fantasy XI was my original home server back in the day. A long, long, long time ago. I may not play that game anymore, but it still makes me feel a little nostalgic. Also, I've got a parcel on the way at some point. I've got a new model kit coming, and that I'm really looking forward to. And I've gone the wrong way. Hang on. A little too far north. Yeah. As I have pondered our expedition into Pandaemonium, I could not help but be mystified how strongly the warders we encountered felt for La Habrea, whether it be for good or ill. Hesperos and Ericthonios were two sides of the same coin. The former looked to his mentor with absolute devotion, while the latter looked to his father with bald hatred. I would not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions towards a single individual are quite rare indeed. Not where I'm from. Naturally, I feel gratitude towards my mother and father, yet we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself. It is more or less accepted as the way of things. By contrast, the research into Pandaemonium seems to view La Habrea with a feeling approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they've been drawn to him. There were many other aspects of the facility's particulars I found troubling. Besides, I decided the best course of action would be to go straight to the source and pose my question to a member of the Words of La Habrea. My apologies to have kept you waiting, Master Themis. I understand you are conducting an investigation of Pandaemonium and wish to know of its origins. Indeed. In particular, I wish to know why exactly Pandaemonium was built directly under Elpis. Oh, that's a quite good question actually. The facility is overseen by the words of La Habrea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? At first I thought it simply to be a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the researchers of Elpis could be easily ushered into their new homes. Imagine my surprise when a trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organisations beyond Elpis, including from the words of La Habrea themselves. Given this, albeit limited information, I cannot help but feel that the Academia in Nida would have been a more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found there? These are fitting questions, and ones we've asked ourselves many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Pandaemonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When it first was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmise, the majority of the creations kept within Pandaemonium were sent from Elpis. Yet as the years passed, interests changed. Failures in creations deemed too flawed even to submit to Elpis paradoxically drew the attention of Pandaemonium's researchers. That is quite the change, and in fact almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations will be the subject of research? Master La Habrea. Such authority is reserved to the chief keyword, and he has taken it upon himself to step into that role. So if Pandaemonium's resources were being misused, it would be under La Habrea's authority, correct? I know not what you're suggesting, but the keywords also hold some sway within the facility. Not even Master La Habrea would be free from their scrutiny. They are duty-bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Although I admit of late their communication has been somewhat sporadic, we but recently received a report from one of the keywords stating that all is well within Pandaemonium's halls. Really? And you are certain that keyword sent it? Yes, of course. Our communications suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you that the words did their diligence in confirming the identity of the sender. Thank you. This information will be helpful to my investigation. That will be all for my prying. Judging by his eyes, maybe not the eyes, but the robes, I think I know who they are, and I shall take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate, and it would be remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. All is well. A blatant lie, and to that we can both attest. One of the remaining keywords is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but it is plain that we must return to Pandaemonium with haste. Yeah, we should. I'm not going to go into who I think they are exactly, who Themis is. Because I'll just call them opinions. I cannot guess as to why this false report has arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, and does the knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more keyword to puppet. Regardless, they have tipped their hand, and we would be remiss to leave Ericthonios at the mercy of their machinations. Let us hope no harm has befallen him.
That's a ward. Rather, it didn't work. Something powerful is at play here.
Not quite. I traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. And now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude.
What? Who goes there?
Oh. There is something to be admired in such single-minded efforts, even if your methods leave much to be desired. You allow these familiars to catch you unawares. Have you set your sight so high to forget that you walk upon the earth?
I know this creature. A familiar of the Phoenix. But that monster's locked away.
That it is, in spite of the trouble I went to freeing it, I might add. Begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must, but with control of Asphodolus wrestled from my grasp, it is simply the best I can offer you.
Hide if you will, but mark my words. I will find you and make you pay for the chaos you've sown.
Now, there is no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course. The wisdom of Lahabrea, your father.
And how would you know what wisdom he speaks? I've heard those words many times. The scolding of a tutor whose students struggle to grasp the most rudimentary lessons, seething with disgust.
No. I've not told that to anyone, not even Kiwat Hesperos. That can only mean one thing.
That you still insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, Labrea. At last you move to keep up. Pity that you remain behind, nevertheless.
What?
As ever you are. Always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. And though fate deigned to offer an escape, you remain here. You are bereft of magical prowess and common sense, both. But you need not despair. Dull though you may be, you are yet indispensable to Pandaemonium's great experiment. Oh, that's the affection I remember. Tell me, did it ever once measure up to your expectations? You shall. Take pride in that, and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What wish? Come, and also be revealed. All this rage, this hatred is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. What are you? So now we know who's done it. Uninvited guest on our reunion. It seems fortune no longer favours you. Do you think I have any interest in listening to your prattle, let alone bowing to your will? I'm no longer a child, and my fate lies with those who've earned it. So these are the heroes who brought Hesperos low, even as powers divine flow through his veins. It is plain there are worthier subjects to contend with. So it's been an hour and I've not even gone to a fight yet. Thank you. If you had shown up even a moment later, I shudder to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There is but one person who can hold thrall over familiar, creation, and keyword alike. Oh, it's materia. And so there can be but one conclusion. La Habre was the driving force behind this chaos from the start.
There is logic to that. There are few with the wherewithal to even consider experimentation on such a scale, let alone with the capacity to create demigods for man and beast, with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the convocation and the words, his relatively minor role as chief keyword comes under little scrutiny, even as it provides him with the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as veil and mantle both. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetrated here could not have been done by the La Habrea I know. You have met him yet. Do you think he's capable of this?
La Habrea is capable of far more than you know. Dude's off his head.
Is he? So you believe La Habrea to be a man of few scruples if it brings his goals closer in reach?
That alone should be enough, but let me assure you, La Habrea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition.
While he may not be one to let emotion stand in the way of his mission, I cannot believe there are no depths to which he would not stoop. Although we met but briefly, the impression he left on me stands in stark contrast to your evaluation. Though his methods are rather unorthodox, they seem guided by a firm understanding of what is just.
There's one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandaemonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery ourselves.
A wise course. I would not deny the truth if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomforting to behold.
Then we must move forward with no excessive caution. La Habrea, or whoever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandaemonium. We can safely assume that the other keywards won't greet us with open arms.
Agreed. Let us make our way through Abyssos one careful step at a time. I shall stay by Ericssonius' side in case our enemies think to target him again. Could I trouble you to take the vanguard?
Will do.
Thank you. As a precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should we become separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the keyword magics will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you to even the scales somewhat. I trust you shall be liberal with your weight. You can bet your ass I will.
Right then. Abyssos, the fifth circle. Spikes. Waiting for Raph to be ready. Music here is fucking creepy. This is still very Castlevania-esque. Very Castlevania-esque. And I like it. I like the look of this place.
Checking a couple of things before he lets me queue. In any case, this is a very feels good to actually finally be properly back to this. I'm still going to be doing a new project on Saturday, that new project being the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I am really looking forward to playing again, by the way. I loved that game when it came out. Let's just do a ready check. Log. Well then, in we go. Abyssos. Oh, I've been looking forward to this place. Straight fucking in! Wonderful. Oh, they've been warped out. We've just walked into a trap, haven't we? I'm liking this music. If we get knocked, there's gonna be a knockback here. Wow! Proto Carbuncle. That thing's big and that thing's ugly. Not someone being tacky with us again. Oh, I like that. Yeah. So think of that, mate. Yeah. And I figured reflect. When he is carving, ergo respect is going to be important.
Oh great, I should have figured something like that was going to happen. I've gone all out too early. That's a dive bomb. Oh great. This is very Persona-esque music and I've just wasted a cooldown. Basically, I fucked up my rotation because of that. Back with me, mate. I can sort of recover this. Relatively intuitive, at least. That's dead. This is going down relatively quickly, at least. Enjoying this. There we go. It helps with the music, it's fucking awesome. Thank you, Raph. I was following you, you dickhead. Well, let's finish this. Got it. I will take that. Probably going for the body part, to be honest. For the body piece, to be honest. And that'll be going on my tank. One of my tank jobs, at least. Right then. Well, you're the other dragoon, so you can have it. Right. Great, I got some pants. I literally went off after the fight and nipped to the gent, and I want somebody in pants and 2 commendations. I shall not say no to that.
So this is where the research is conducted on creations imbued with poisons and venoms. Eric Thonios and I were conveyed not far from here. It seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone, you are a force to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious that I might observe you further.
Oh God! I know exactly who that is.
Were the circumstances different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long. But I believe we can forego in these introductions unless I've misread you.
The abyssal celebrant himself. I'm all too familiar, Paragon.
A charming appellation, but I am afraid I hold no position. No, I am La Habrea of the Convocation of 14.
Oh, you will know. Oh.
You'll know me later. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. What is this? This is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to ether, but you remain unaffected. Such deep ether, and in an unfamiliar composition besides. It is of no matter, I suppose. A more direct approach will get the same results. I would advise you to think carefully before you're deciding your next action. Track me down here, and Ericthonius' wish will remain unfulfilled. Never again shall he meet Athena. Mother, you would dare hide behind her name. Listen well, Ericthonius. We are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have your allies' protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? I can't do his voice. Ericthonius, wait. There is a question I must needs ask first. If you truly are La Habrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. A simple request. One moment, someone messaging me on Discord. A simple request. Themis, was it? A trifle soon forgotten as are you. I have my answer. The La Habrea I knew took pride in the convocation, but would never suffer its denigration. You sully his station with this farce. Themis, what are you saying? La Habrea hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real La Habrea would never call me by the name Themis. Oh fuck, I was right! Holy shit! Holy shit, I figured! Wow. What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Elidibus? Imposter. You have no right to claim that form, that mask. What? Who? 'Twas a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of La Habrea, a man who values his position above all. Who would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty? Yet you would assume my name and wield powers that are mine by right. Any worth you may have hinges on that which you so despise. Such trite provocations. I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. Erixonios, listen well. I am Hephaestus. And it is I whom you should call father. What in the name of creation? We would do well not to stand idle while our enemy is about. I believe an explanation is in order, Elidibus. Let us return to safety so you may provide it. That sounds more like the La Habrea I know. Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As La Habrea said, I am Elidibus, one of the Convocation and emissary of their will. For reasons which do not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. I had a feeling. Your perceptiveness does not surprise me. When the time comes, it shall make my explanation all the easier to understand. In any case, we have pressing matters to attend to. Let us do as La Habrea suggested and return to the gates. We can speak there. I'm going to grab a drink. Go. As you are aware by now, I am known as Elidibus, and after my dear friend Azam and I detected irregularities in Pandaemonium, we decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I'm sure La Habrea as well is eager to figure out why I hid who I was. So I shall save that story for later. First, I would like to speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azamar nor I had ever met you in the flesh, you came with his highest recommendation. That alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That somewhere in the world a guiding star so similar to himself was out there amused Azam to no end. There was not a shade of doubt in his heart that you would be a formidable ally. Oh god, I bet he would have like, oh fucking hell. Furthermore, I have heard stories that Mistress Vanar, who held the position of Azam previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself. That made the decision to trust you all the easier. She too now donned the white robes of an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I knew I would be in capable hands. Aware though I was of the path you'd walked, I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, to travel by your side for a while. I may know but a small portion of your whole story, but that is enough for me to believe you would never lead me astray. Wanted to tell you that. Savvy Jane. I see Elidibus has chosen to keep on company. Such a vexing composition of ether you possess. I admit my own grasp of what just occurred is somewhat tenuous. Doubtless La Habrea can elucidate matters for us. don't know how long it's been since we last spoke, La Habrea, and truth be told, I'd hoped we never would again. But I see now that I was a fool to think I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is that thing that called himself La Habrea? And why is he the spitting image of your younger self? I find it hard to believe you've only just now found out such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandaemonium. Did you think Mars would simply sort themselves out? I suppose you at least deserve a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandaemonium, including the fact that Azam and Elidibus had taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was. Imagine my surprise when instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the key wards stating that research and operations were proceeding as usual. While Hephaestus' deception was almost childish in its simplicity, it became plain to me that your grasp on the situation was slipping. So you knew of his existence from the beginning? I can hardly imagine that you would suffer another to masquerade as one of the convocation. Not without good reason, at least. As you well know, the name La Habrea is but a mark of my station, but not the name I was born with. Hephaestus has claimed that for himself. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half, in a manner of speaking. He knows all that I know, my equal in every way, yet within his heart is naught but greed, envy, and desire. All the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is the product of experimentation gone awry, a reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I thought him sealed away for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. When he spoke of my mother, he looked upon you with venom in it. He looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words were but the ramblings of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. I'm giving him Emselk's voice. I can't do La Habrea's because he's... And now that he has awakened, he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandaemonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster unto our star. As chief keyword of Pandaemonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. What? You would leave the other warders to their doom? It is a choice befitting La Habrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and how is it to guide our star and its inhabitants upon the correct course? It is no surprise he would choose annihilation of Pandaemonium if its existence posed even the remotest risk to our people. Yet, as you can see by Erecthonius' response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Azam and I grappled with this conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. It was the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring no matter the cost. Your feelings, Elidibus, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No. You spared nary a single thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You've no idea of the trials we've endured, the foes that Taylor has stood against. Taylor, is it? A being of such ether as I've never seen. What are you? He's the guiding light that will lead us safely through this. Thanks to his stout arm and steadfast courage, We've subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion, Talo. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. You know what? La Habrea can't be trusted. Agreed. We still know next to nothing about Hephaestus, and I highly doubt La Habrea has been forthcoming with the truth. We've managed to regain control of Asphodelos. He must be made to see that there's merit in continuing on this path. I have it. Speak in your official capacity as Elidibus the Emissary. Judge which approach is more sound, and even La Habrea would be compelled to listen. As Elidibus, I am duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion as Themis can carry no weight. You understand what that means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time, seen what we've seen. Based on that alone, I'll trust you'll find the best way forward. Very well. Then in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits both in destroying Pandaemonium outright and in taking time to rescue its researchers. And neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that the most meta choice would be to continue upon our present course. We delve into Abyssos, interring any mythic creations we encounter along the way. You have yet to witness Talos' might and Erechthonius' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities first hand, and only then decide if our endeavour is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if indeed I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there will be no objections to the immediate destruction of Pandaemonium. You needn't worry about that. We won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. And you're even more tedious than I remember. Tolo, come find me when you've finished. Erechthonius is understandably frustrated, but if we are to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray he'll enter near to his troubles, that their weight might be lightened. And me. Well, it's near the entrance. Let's go and have a word with him. I'm enjoying this quest line. Yeah. You do have my gratitude, ill-fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway him, La Habrea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realised the creations had slipped their bonds, the other key wards did all in their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, they remained to aid their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world, and they don't deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, Hephaestus has secrets yet untold. Secrets that will be buried in Pandaemonium if Pandaemonium were reduced to rubble. I mean to uncover the truth behind his words, the truth of my mother. While La Habrea was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Hephaestus would gain by fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not La Habrea that dealt the fatal blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quickly he can condemn others to die. I only wish to know at last what befell her. What do you think, Taylor? Does La Habrea, you know, have any regard for the lives of others, or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hands? You know, I have no idea what he might be like in this age. This age? Just how long has it been since you last met? Regardless, I'd like you to try and view him as he is now. Another opinion would be much appreciated. But it is plain there is much to consider. Thank you, Taylor. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotion where he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to La Habrea that we are capable of saving Pandaemonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that would be to regain control of Abyssos. Although I'm loath to admit it, he would know more about those depths than any of us. And seeing how we require every advantage we can afford. Taylor, would you speak to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities and may deign to help at your suggestion. If only to see what you can do. This is a very lore-heavy quest line. Jesus fuck though. Ericthonios appears to have deep trust in you, and Elidibus tells me you share some relation to Azem. Your unusual ether does not mark you as familiar. It is unlike anything I've seen, even among the countless concepts I've observed. To think I would encounter an existence I could not create by my own hand. Azem never ceases to surprise. The previous Azem was much the same. In taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. Just as you and Elidibus have conducted yourself in this matter, the true danger of Azem's nature is its tendency to infect all those he comes into contact with. Emmett Selk said much the same. Trust that I shall do naught that would violate my duty. And yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as emissary to justify this latest excursion. It matters little, however. Only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more of Abyssos, I take it. Although I no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. The chief keyword's reach is far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of note. Perhaps they've been made into fodder for experimentation, or perhaps they've been transferred to the deeper circles. Yet Hephaestus will never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of hegemony, keyword of Abyssos. Although her presence is stained with marks of corruption, it is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with a highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities within her still, there is something else at work. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that's because she's already been twitted into a Hemitheus, doubtless against her will. Taylor, Themis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate. And if we cannot, we can at least steal her away until we find a means to undo the damage. Your allies make you bold, Eurythonios. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. Ah, he's still in cutscene. Must be a bit of a slower reader than I am. So what's going on with the deviant? I do like the music here. Button. Swing through. That's me. Ah. I'm just waiting for Raph to be ready. I'm gonna go fix up my gear. Because I took a bit of a kicking there. I did the necessary Dragoon thing and died, so I'm going to help us go fix up my gear. Go somewhere where the music is a bit less fucking ominous. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. I've had a bit of a long day at work. One of those days that's just tougher than it fucking well should be. It's been one of them. One of those days where it's just been knackering. I mean, you have to deal with people. Sorry. The problem with working in customer services is that you have to deal with people. And the other problem is management, who I think sometimes don't quite understand exactly what the job entails. And they're like, I was talking to one earlier, and she's one of the only managers I like. She's one of the managers I like working with. But the thing is, I don't think she quite understands that they don't pay enough for me to be able to properly care. I'm there for the money. I'm not there to I'm not there to care. I'm
that's it's like my job is basically smile, serve people, try not to call them cunts. That basically sums up this my job. Smile, serve people, try not to call them cunts. But there's always some customers who I think are in need of a slap or a stab. Or bloody knifing at times, because they're not all that bright. I almost just ran into a shark. Even if I had a ship to go flying into that thing, I'd still need a bigger boat. I'm gonna fly towards the chthonic horns. Let's see what's there. I do like this zone. It's been a while since I had a chance to fly around it. No idea why the hell they call it the chthonic horns. There's the morning dew, lathe, in Mesopsis Eurus. In we go. Episode 6. Episode 6. Episode, i.e. P6. No idea what to expect from this one. Apart from really good fucking music. Oh. Oh Jesus, he got horns. Okay. They're gonna squares. Right then, hegemony. Music in this is quite epic. This is another fact that's got to be quite unique. Oh, that goes off quickly. There's one thing I've learned about stuff like this, it's face outwards. The wonders of doing Medusa all of doing turn 7 all those years ago. That leaves you with barely any room. That basically made me fuck up my entire rotation. Oh, thank you. Down now. It's relatively easy. And they're right. I completely misread that. Still not Papa Dragoon unless you die at least once. Quite a lot. Not as intuitive as I thought it was going to be. So even I've got it. Yep. I think I'm getting it down now. Pay attention to when they're stopping through this time. Time to get everything down. This isn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Completely misread again. I really do not like that mechanic. That's confusing the hell out of me. Yeah, this one's trying to take me a little bit of understanding. Kind of went full Dragoon there, didn't I? Right, let's hegemony down. Let's see who's next then. Right then. So we'll get this pants, I'll take the chest and get both bits next time. Mechanic. Just waiting for everyone to get the stuff they need. Oh! So I got the pants again. Right then, Eric. We've won. The key ward is sealed away and alive. We've won. The key ward is sealed away and alive this time. La Habrea can't deny us now. No, we can't. Well, Savage Aim. Servant of Violence now. Our plan was a success, although I hardly need to tell you that. Hegemony has been sealed away and now you have no choice but to admit the merit in our methods. You have the right of it. I am not so petty as to deny the achievements of those who I squabble with, no matter how strongly we disagree. Moreover, this being
ether as thin as retreating mist, unable to wield creation magics, yet powerful enough to subdue a Hemitheos, has made this ordeal far more interesting.
Then we have leave to continue.
As for that, there is one among you whose very presence puts the others at risk. It would be best to proceed without him, for failure would have consequences that reach far beyond Pandaemonium.
And of whom do you speak?
A ward who cannot even conduct his duty without aid. In this place, hope alone is not enough to overcome what awaits you. A single misstep will send all to their doom.
So long as we each do our part and look to the allies by our side, even a neophyte can upbraid his companions. That's something that Taylor and Themis taught me.
While I do not wish to express any bias, I'm inclined to agree. If my investigation has made anything clear, it's that we are together greater than the sum of our parts.
And hope has brought us this far. It drives us to seek the right path, and to act before that path lies close to us.
Then tell me, what is it that you hope for?
To see Hephaestus in chains. That's the surest way to prevent further sacrifices. I'm aware that destroying Pandaemonium would prevent it, and I admit I wish to know how he means to resurrect Athena.
And there we have it. You must leave this place at once, and do not think to set foot in Pandaemonium again. You are capable, that much is plain, yet Hephaestus cannot be suffered to live. And I shall not allow his talk of resurrection to poison mine or anyone else's mind. Life flows in a cycle, this is known. All souls return to the underworld, and Athena's is no exception. She is likely to find a new vessel, and a new journey to embark upon. He cannot be ignorant to the folly of Hephaestus' words. Even were he to breathe life into a body, the soul contained within would not be your mother's. What if our knowledge is imperfect? What if Hephaestus has discovered something that no one else has?
He knows all that you do, understands the bitter reality of the world. He wouldn't pursue the impossible.
Think, Erixonios. I've already explained this is merely my twisted reflection. Is it worth bringing back your mother if it means others are used and discarded like tools?
Is it worth it to see her once more?
Now you measure the worth of your colleagues' lives. What was that foolish spraying about saving them? Please, such battles will get us nowhere. We should first discuss... You would call me fool? You, who murdered your wife in service to your ambition? For the sake of the star, no doubt. I can hear it again, the voice inside my head. I know who to follow. Hephaestus, father, mother, oh I love you so. This voice will guide me to you.
Oh, that's bad.
No, listen. Listen not, Erixonios. Apologies. You taught me that a calm heart stays the course, but I could never even grasp the rudder.
That's bad.
This is getting interesting.
Hephaestus is cunning despite his warped mind. Whatever took hold of Erixonios, it made short work of his reason. From the moment he lays eyes upon me, I could sense his hatred and rage simmering below the surface. 'Twas but a matter of time before it spilled forth, and that was when he fell into the spell's embrace. A magic woven with such skill that Erixonios himself failed to notice it until it was too late.
If this is the measure of Hephaestus' power, then the other keywards had little chance to resist it. We saw his work during our encounter with Hesperos. Doubtless Hephaestus' magic fed his admiration and envy until there was room for naught else in his heart. And there was something else besides. Did he not feel the presence of another? Yeah, I noticed that. As I thought, oh Jesus, there's a big spider. That would have sent my expander fleeing for the fucking hills. Someone was trying to warn Erixonios, but whom? Could it have been one of the keywards?
Alas, their warning arrived too late.
I had already provoked Erixonios past the point of no return. I bear the burden for this failure. Hang on a minute. Come jumps off the wall. I don't know where it's gone. Sorry.
I bear them. In my stubbornness, I could but scorn the boy, and Hephaestus knew that. And now I dread to think the ordeal that awaits him due to my rashness.
Sorry, I can't do his accent. I've forgotten what I was using. There is yet time to save him. We can easily regain control of Abyssos, giving us a firm foothold from which to brave Pandaemonium's lowest level. The enemy is within reach. Just as with Hesperos, Erixonios is in danger of being consumed by Hephaestus' spell. However, I have faith that he will not easily lose sight of himself. The way forward is clear, La Habrea. Pray tell us all you know of what we shall find beyond Abyssos. I can only assume one more keyword lies in wait.
The deepest level of Pandaemonium. The deepest level of Pandaemonium is called Tartaros. Your passage shall be challenged not only by a keyword. Hephaestus has laid traps in every corner of its halls. You have no hope of surviving far past the threshold.
That I expect is where Taylor shall shine. His dissolute ether shall allow him to slip through the traps unimpeded. We saw it when Hephaestus had no effect, and doubtless even he has yet to devise a countermeasure. Yeah, more than probably.
Then time is of the essence. Hephaestus is already well aware that you can match a keyword in battle. He will not stand idle while you stroll past his other defences at your leisure.
Agreed. However, clarity will be indispensable to our success, and I'm afraid I must insist upon it ere we depart. Go on. We have yet to discern to what end Hephaestus would use Erixonios. If you know, I would ask that you would enlighten us. And then there's the matter of Athena. Why do you so fiercely rebuke Erixonios' feelings for his mother? While I understand the very thought of resurrecting the dead is anathema, you act as if grief over her passing should be equally so. How are we to grapple with what plagues our friend and drives our foe if you refuse to acknowledge it?
I do acknowledge it. I wish only to spare those that still feel it still greater pain.
So instead of being honest, you bicker like a child.
How dare you? No, you are right. The blame for Eric Thornis' fate rests squarely on my shoulders.
Very well, I shall lay bare the truth, but only after the foe before us has been laid low. The remaining keyword is Agdistis. She has served in Pandaemonium since its inception, and her affinity for magic is peerless, even among the keywords. Hephaestus knows that losing her would mean the end of his experiments. He has hidden her in a space unreachable by conventional means. But your presence makes a mockery of such barriers. The scarcity of your ether means it will be trivial to send you directly to Agdistis. Then we shall approach as closely as caution will allow. We know where the battle will commence, so I do not anticipate difficulty in detecting your presence. From afar, I shall do my best to provide you with ground on which to fight and phantom allies to aid you. As for the interment, if you had to think of a foolproof method...
Interment shall not be necessary.
From here I can sense Agdistis' essence, but it is scarcely recognisable. Hephaestus was more ambitious with her than he was with hegemony. She has been transfigured such that barely a scantling of herself remains. We can take comfort in what the mercy of the underworld will be to her. Will do. Right then, to Abyssos, the 7th circle. Looking forward to this one. Got no idea what beholds her, other than the fact that this one basically is pretty much on the way to death. Straight in. Right then. Oh, circular platform this time. Been a while since I fought on one of these. Oh, what the fuck have you done to her? Epitheos Agdistis. It's gonna take some doing to free her from that thing. So yeah, only one thing we can do. That thing's fucking enormous.
That needs out. Ow. Right, then this is going to be interesting. You know, I picked the right platform here, didn't I? That's a big ass tank buster. That's back to life. This one I'm enjoying. That was a little concerning. Oh fuck! We're dead. The healers are down, we don't have anyone who can raise. This is really, really bad. Fuck. I ran the wrong damn way. No, that wasn't bad. Right, that was... Right, first one. This thing is a hell of a fight. That's... Relatively simple fight. Going down, so it's going down slowly but surely. I don't think you misread that. Tunnel too much. I'm getting this down slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Oh great. Tank's dead. Slowly but surely, folks. Getting this. Bullshit. Slowly but surely.
Fuck off!
Good. It's always handy to have some kind of method of dealing with a mechanic like that. Almost there. Power going this time. There you go. Yep. Getting her. There we go. Going down. We got her a percent. That was a good fight. That's a really good fight. That's a really, really clever boss fight. It was Ryu, I think. I'm already most of the way to the pants. There we go. And I got some pants again! Yes! Right then. What's next? The moment Agdistis was slain, the flow of ether in Pandaemonium focused keenly on this location, creating a tunnel of sorts through which we could quickly convey ourselves. It was almost as if we were ushered here. This space was created with care and concealed with powerful wards. Only a key ward would have been able to detect it, and even then with great difficulty. Ergo? Hephaestus. Oh. If only I could restore Tartarus to order, but I'm afraid this is the most I can manage with such power as remains to me. Oh, it has been too long, Master Librarian. Likewise, Keyword Agdistis. I should not be surprised you were able to break free of Hephaestus' spells, even diminished as you were. It was not an easy task, even with your aid. His curses dig into one's heart, creating a storm of emotions that is all too easy to become lost in. Only by chance did a fragment of myself remain, illuminating a path through the madness. And thus am I able to appear before you now. Even while my body was powerless to resist Hephaestus' commands, some small part of my logical mind stood alone in defiance. It even managed to speak to the outside world. The report! That was you! Doubtless you recognize my voice from the many times that I have called out to you. The hope that those pleas would not fall on deaf ears was all that kept me from succumbing to hopelessness. Pretty much. But I have a greater purpose here than simply saying my farewells. There is something you must know, that the tragedies of the past do not repeat in the present. Forgive me for what I'm about to do, Master Librarian, but the story must be told. It is the only way to understand Hephaestus' fixation on Erixonius. No longer can you hide your heart away. Hephaestus. No, the mask marks him as Librarian. Master Librarian had brought an end to Lady Athena's life and sealed away a part of his memories and emotions within Hephaestus. These are my recollections of the moments following. And you truly have no intention of revealing the truth to Erixonius? My lesser half is now buried where no one can find it. We would be wise to do the same with our memories of this day. Blood should not sway the spirits so, but Athena's teachings have warped the boy. I fear he would see our star burn to keep his mother safe. Erixonius believes that he feels love, but he is shackled by dependence. He could not bear the truth.
His dependence makes it all the more important to be open with him. He will seek answers about his mother's loss, which shall inevitably lead him to you. Are you willing to accept the blame for Athena's death? Are you willing to accept your son's hatred? If that is what comes to pass, then so be it.
Better be to be burdened with hatred than the knowledge that Athena thought his body and soul mere tools, to be used and discarded. Even were I to tell him what his mother plotted, he would ever seek reasons to believe that the true fault lies with me or with him. Should he merely hate me, he will remain unfettered by doubt, free to serve the star far from his parent's shadow.
Erixonius loved his mother more than life itself, and yet, what a dreadful truth you've borne all this time. Such is Libraea's nature. Every action, every word a solution to life's great dilemmas, and none to spare for his own. What I've revealed to you is but a small portion of a larger picture. I shall leave it to Libraea to paint the rest for you. And to Erixonius, I hope.
Thank you, Agdistis.
I always admired you, you know. What choice did I have when you sacrificed so much to guide our star to the heavens? Whew. Apologies. I'm a bit sleep deprived still.
Hephaestus has doubtless sensed that his final keyword has fallen. We should return to the surface before he moves to strike us here. If we are to face him, we must be prepared to bring our full strength to bear.
Right then.
Agdistis was ever a bold woman, even in her final moments. That she would unearth the secrets of my past for all to look upon. Still, full glad am I that he faced you as our last opponent. I could think of none more worthy to send her soul off to the other side. The vision you saw told the story far more eloquently than I ever could. Athena was consumed by her research and was willing to sacrifice her own child if it hastened her progress. She did not offer him a position here out of sense of love or pride. 'Twas merely because she knew he was the most pliable test subject.
I see now why you hid the truth from him. I cannot say with certainty that Erixonius could handle the weight of such betrayal after holding his mother on a pedestal for so long.
Unfortunately, it seems not even her death has ensured his safety. Hephaestus has taken up Athena's research and succeeded in creating Hemithioi. I know not what his ultimate end is, but it is plain is connected with the resurrection of Athena.
That knowledge alone is sufficient to direct the next course of action. As for the rest of your story, we shall hear it after we return Erixonius to safety in accordance with Agdistis' last wish.
Very well.
I can at least assure you that finding him will still prove relatively simple now that Hephaestus can no longer bend Pandaemonium to his will.
There is but one place left for him to find refuge, the Black Heart of Tartarus, where Athena built her testing compound.
We can assume that Hephaestus will offer fierce resistance. I must focus my every effort on securing a safe mean of approach. Sounds good to me. Labrea, I would ask that you assume the duty of summoning Talos Phantom Warriors.
I have no objections. My ability to fight within Tartaros will be greatly diminished in any case. However, I wish to deal the final blow to Hephaestus myself. There's no need to dirty your hands with such a deed.
I take it then that you have no intent to seal him away as before?
The presence I felt when I encountered Hephaestus bore little resemblance to the entity I created. By his own hand he is becoming far more wicked, and the same magics that once shackled him may well shatter before the power he wields. On my pride as researcher, I am loath to repeat the same mistake twice. I will not see these events play out again, so he must be extinguished.
Okay, sounds good. Then, well then, I shall open the way forward. May we finish this together. Alright. Abyssos, the 8th circle, now accessible. Right then, let's see what this one involves. This has been interesting. It's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this. I do like stuff like this in games. And honestly, this one has been... I genuinely enjoy the raids on this game. They're a lot of fun. Always are a lot of fun. Just kind of a quick look to browse through my Facebook while we... No idea. I'm going to go fix up my gear. Dead quick. Just go on to Anagnoresis. Yep. Right then. Mender. Yep. Oh yeah. Forgot about that. An elegant plan. I'll have a bit of a fly around. Back to the gates of Pandaemonium then. If one of the last bosses is Pandaemonium fucking Warden, I won't be surprised. Yep. Right then. Well, I like that setup. Oh jeez, that's the radio melee healing? Impressive. Right then. In we go. Hopefully. Acanthus. There we go. Oh, so he is looking to do an experiment. And that's Hephaestus.
Erechthonios is mine, heart and soul. And with your death, None will be left to stop me.
There we go. Oh, jeez. Perfect imperfection. Hephaestus. Oh, jeez, that's some music. There we go. This is giving me a lot of Castlevania vibes. And I'm loving this music. I ain't gonna bother running any roulettes, but right now.
Rest eternal in the dark depths of this prison. From fulgent flame my servants rise. Out of my sight!
Yep.
Leave naught but ash in your wake.
There you go. Bowl.
And seep sorrow into your heart. A fitting death.
Yeah. He's going down there. He's got relatively little health.
Behold the fruits of sacrifice.
Jeez.
You will know my rage.
Shit, that hurt. I thought that was nice, didn't I?
Perish in flame's embrace. Go forth and sate your boundless hunger. From fulgent flame my servants rise. I tire of this farce.
Well, this is going to end badly. Oh, you absolute idiot! You weren't... Maybe you should have been healing rather than raising.
I shall see my wish fulfilled.
Right then. Round 2. This dude's pretty strong.
Rest eternal in the dark depths of this prison. From fulgent flame my servants rise. Out of my sight! Leave naught but ash in your wake. Let seep sorrow into your heart. A fitting death.
This is gonna be a hell of a fight. If I'm done with this, I'll be done for the night. So I'll be off to get some food.
Behold the fruits of sacrifice. You will know my rage.
That's easy enough to deal with. Go. I think we're going to get
Inflamed tempest. Go forth and sate your boundless hunger. Fulgent flame my servants rise. Out of my sight!
How the fuck did I dodge that? Yeah. We're getting him though.
I shall see my wish fulfilled.
You'll see your wish ended. Go. I'm learning.
You are prey to be consumed. Sear flesh from bone.
Didn't know how that worked.
Leave naught but ash in your wake. I tire of this farce. Behold the fruits of sacrifice.
Solid.
You will know my rage.
lost 2 people.
Praying before a god.
Still. Come on.
Perish in flames and rage.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Go forth and sate your boundless hunger. Fulgent flame my servants rise. A fitting death. Shall see my wish fulfilled.
Come on. Got it. Into there.
You are prey to be consumed.
You know what, a healer would have been nice.
Leave naught but ash in your wake.
Yep.
Out of my sight.
Left of it.
From fulgent flame my servants rise. Let sweet sorrow into your heart.
We've got it. This is a fight and a half.
Behold the fruits of sacrifice.
Right then, I tend to find out who the real... I mean, obviously there's got to be a third part of this, but that was the antagonist of this one dealt with. Right then, now I've got to rescue FFXIV. Right then, so Valis can have my thing. I may have to run this again at some point. Oh, we got some pants! Didn't get the minion, but I got the pants!
chain of events that led to this moment began with my error when out of mercy I confined you here. Now I break it and leave no trace of you behind. This is not over. This sea will not go peacefully.
Oh god, he's using it as a shield.
Even a cast-off would appall his pride, though such an impulse must speak to the overwhelming arrogance of my other half. The name Hephaestus shall grow to eclipse yours. None shall remember the deeds of La Habreo once I fulfill Athene's ambition and bring Ericsonius' dream to life. You speak as if you care a whit for the boy. Why then do you cower behind him? There are some desires which must not be realized. Athena would see the world destroyed if it meant she could find hers in the ruins. As for Ericsonius, he knows not what his wish will beget, a truth which you have hidden from him. Do you truly believe a father's role is to deceive and manipulate? You claim the name Hephaestus and call yourself his father, yet you bind his mind and body in dark chains. Your words and your pride ring are hollow. Athena wanted a son by her side, and he desired to return there. What wickedness is there in mending a broken family? Athena cared naught for Ericsonius beyond how he could serve her ends. You claim to be acting in his interest, but it's plain you're no different. As I ushered Athena to her end, I vowed that my sole mission in life would be to guide this star true. In service of that vow, I silenced the whispers of my heart. I could not nurture a son whilst an entire world looked to me for guidance. For that choice, I bear the responsibility. Yet he's still my son, and I'll not suffer you to seduce him with false hope. You, who are naught but the bitter dregs of Athena and I, the very worst of us. No, who do I? Come back to us. I hear you. I owe you and Themis an apology. Athena, did you ever... And Ladbrea, I will have my say. How? His mind was mine. I can't explain. Taylor's words reached me through the haze. They rang loud and clear. As did the words of another, in a voice much like yours, but resounding with truth. How? When did you master these bonds? Oh, we've endured much worse.
Worthless! That's a stone.
It appears my failures have borne fruit after all.
One of the stones of the 14.
You did well, son.
That was a hell of a fight. Where are we? Yeah.
With Hephaestus' essence contained in this crystal, we may safely return Ericsonius above. That he would bind Hephaestus with only half his senses intact. You understated his adeptness in the art of interment. It was hardly what I'd mind, but a feat deserving of praise nonetheless.
Here we go.
I feel no trace of Hephaestus' poison in your mind, and for a blessing it appears your body is none the worse for wear.
I made my way here as soon as I could. I no longer sense Hephaestus, and the force assailing Pandaemonium's barriers has ceased. Are we rid of him for good and all? Yep. I see. Despite his muddled senses, Ericsonius felt that to seal Hephaestus away was the proper course.
No one so noble as that.
I only knew something had to be done, so I acted. Librea, was that how you dealt with Hephaestus in the past?
Indeed, he was naught but parts of my memory and soul that I'd cut away. A mass of ether without a material vessel. Storing his essence within a crystal was the most logical choice.
On that matter, I believe the time has come for you to share the rest of your tale. Of Hephaestus' creation and Athena's end. I heard your words, but only vaguely, as if from under the surface of a deep pool. My mother wished to use me? I would hear the whole truth. I want to know what happened here and what drove Athena to act as she did. I'm ready.
Where to begin? Athena's brilliance outshone us all. Even the other members of the Words of La Hebrea were as children in comparison. So dedicated to research was she that it was not unheard of her to forget meals or even sleep. Her mind was ever grasping for knowledge, and it was in this endless search that she became obsessed with uncovering the secrets of life. You see, while we can conceive life in various forms, the means to creating a soul are beyond our ken. Similarly, though we can enhance or alter our physical vessels, we have ever been bound to them. Athena's purpose was to shatter these limitations.
Such limitations as we were not meant to surpass. She sought to enter the realm of gods. Scarce few have the ability to comprehend what such a task entails, let alone the courage to attempt it. For most, the thought would be an idle fancy considered that once then and discarded. Not so through Athena.
As leader of the Words of La Habrea, I spoke with her often about transcending our being. From an academic perspective, the challenge has plagued countless researchers through the ages. It was during these musings that I began to formulate a theory, a means by which a person could meld with a creation. The weaknesses of one would be mitigated by the strengths of the other, and the result could be something greater than we have ever imagined. Although it was but a theory, Athena insisted I develop it further, curious about every detail along the way. Our conversations became more frequent, and our platonic relationship grew into something much more.
I take it I was born not soon after.
Just so. I believe she bore true affection for me, and was blind to her hidden intentions. When Pandaemonium was built and she requested to lead the researchers, I saw no reason to deny her. Even setting aside our relationship, her accomplishments as a scholar made her the obvious choice. However, in giving her Pandaemonium, I also gave her free rein to conduct whatsoever experiments she could devise.
And then you found out what she was doing. When you found out what you were doing, you killed her.
I made haste to Pandaemonium the moment I learned of these hidden chambers. I left Agdesis to keep watch from Tartarus' vestibule as I ventured deeper, knowing not what would await me. As for what occurred next, it is best to see with your own eyes.
She's interred.
Is that me?
You are well aware that out of respect for our neighbours in Elpis, the researchers of Pandaemonium are not to be masked. Yet you stand here before me with your face covered. What petty defiance is this? What petty defiance is this?
What indeed? So quick you are to rebuke me, though you yourself have not set foot in this hall since their inception.
You must have known that you could not seal this myself and Agdesis forever. As well you know that I cannot allow this to continue. I shall say this but once. Release Ericssonius, else I shall have no choice but to strike you down.
I would meet my end at the hands of none other. However, ere my time is come, I will have you know why. You know the why, please.
Then you will not desist.
Once you understand what has driven me this far, you will see that stopping was never an option.
The feelings of one weigh little against the needs of the entire star.
Of course I'm well aware. But you did not deign to descend from your lofty heights and to lecture me as you would a child. You have an interest in my motivations. What possessed Athena, peerless researcher and mother to the son of the great La Habrea, to embark upon the path to her downfall? History will demand an answer, but it is you who deserves one. Give me your hand, La Habrea, and we shall know one another more deeply than ever before. Impossible. You bonded your souls?
That the boundaries between us would cease to be. She offered me everything to be understood. I found myself unable to refuse. At that moment my mind was a storm of questions, yet one roared the loudest. Did Athena ever truly love me? I am become thee, memory and mind.
And I thee, and I thee.
Can you feel it? My heart, all that I am.
Yes, as if it were my own.
A fathomless desire to decide meaning in the mysteries of life, to transcend our mortal flesh and bleed into a higher plane of existence. An unquenchable thirst for knowledge, not a single thought spared for another, for the star. How disappointing. Yet what is known cannot be unknown. You've beheld my life's work. Try as you might to excise the memory. The seed of desire remains, and when it takes root, you too shall be consumed by the self-same fervour.
I will dig it out. I will dispense with the corruption in my soul ere your rotten inside spreads. It was my weakness that let this weakness fester, but never again. Today I cast aside fickle emotion and abide in duty alone. Today I renounce all that I was, and live only as La Habrea.
I have a hypothesis. I'll tell you once I'm done with this cutscene.
Thus did I forsake part of myself that had been polluted by Athena, sealing it within a crystal. Never did I think I would one day face those memories made flesh.
Forgive my bluntness, but your actions bordered on insanity. To go to such length to escape your memories. You nearly rewrote your very existence.
Rest assured, the change did not go unnoticed by our colleagues in the convocation. Eager Yorm and Emmett Selk in particular made plain the suspicions they harboured.
As well they should have. For you escaped of your life was nothing short of a miracle. Why didn't you destroy the crystal then and there? Did you think to one day make use of the knowledge it contained?
I will not deny such considerations played into my decision, but my main motivation was fear. I'd never attempted such a feat before. The crystal was my sole recourse should something go awry with the remainder of my soul. In hindsight, to cling to it was a mistake born of doubt. Athena must have anticipated that I would resort to such methods, prepared a vessel beforehand that would accept the dregs of my soul. Hephaestus doubtless believed he was performing his duty as a husband and father should, yet in truth he was but a puppet being pulled to and fro by Athena's desires.
His goal was not to raise himself high. He thought only of seeing his dear Athena live again, that she might finish what she began. Yet for all that, he and I were alike. We shared yet a fatal flaw, you see. Our need for control blinded us to other perspectives.
While I was enthralled to Hephaestus, you called out, "What say you now? Does La Habrea speak true?"
He does.
Yeah. Now it's your turn to do the same. I just want to know one thing. Did you truly believe that hiding the truth was best for me, even knowing how I felt about my mother? The La Habrea I know had a fatal flaw after all. Still not convinced.
I have said all that I can say. Now it is for you to choose to believe me or not.
Pardon me.
The La Habrea I know holds duty above all else.
I would sooner prostrate myself before an erupting volcano than place my fickle emotions in his path. When you return to the surface, you'll doubtless don that mask once more. So before we climb out of this forsaken pit, I suppose I should say, thank you, Hephaestus. Still not even a smile from him. I get the feeling, though, that that's not the end of this. Request accepted. Brilliant. I've heard enough. There is more I would yet discuss, but we should first... I've heard enough. There is more I would yet discuss, but we should first return to Pandaemonium's gates. I gather my thoughts along the way. Yep. Right. This is a lot of cutscenes. I owe you an apology, Taylor. It was due to my own inexperience that Hephaestus was so easily able to take hold of my mind. I also owe you thanks. If you and Themis hadn't chosen to brave the chaos occurring in Pandaemonium, then I would never have known La Habrea's story, my father's story. It was too late. It was a tale I too were fascinated to hear. I very much look forward to speaking with Adam upon my return. I cannot help but wonder how much of this he foresaw.
I'm afraid I cannot allow that, Elidibus. So long as you retain control of Pandaemonium, there's work to be done.
But of course, I shall first free the remaining warders and restore this place to its former glory.
Using the facilities in Tartaros, we should be able to reverse the changes made to their bodies and minds. I shall stay behind to oversee the process.
That is well, but I must yet learn why I was considered the key to Hephaestus' experiments, and how he intended to revive Athena.
Such questions are best left unanswered. In fact, I forbid the pursuit of that knowledge. The boundary between man and creation shall never again be crossed. And I intend to destroy the crystal containing Hephaestus' essence, that this mistake never again repeats.
I see no reason to gainsay your judgment. There is yet the matter of your crystal, however. Truth be told, I had not considered its origin until I saw the one containing Hephaestus' ether. I was struck by how wholly different they were.
There is another? While imbuing a crystal with memories is a simple process, storing a message, a warning even, would be considered altogether more complex. This also means that someone besides the present company and Azam was aware of the plot unfolding within Pandaemonium.
Then why would they not make themselves known even now? No threats remain.
Aye, perhaps it was one of the other warders. We shall question them after they are freed.
That task may take some time. A resource ought I'd rather not steal more of from you. Return at your leisure, and we will share our results then. You've done more than enough for the time being.
I'm of the same mind. Leave the loose ends to us and continue upon your journey. Or if you are so inclined, take a much needed repose.
This talk of journeys smacks of Azam.
As well it should. He's pledged to keep moving until he's seen every corner of the world. If you do find yourself at a spare moment, you might bring that crystal of yours to La Habrea. He may be able to offer further insight. Until then, my friend. Until then. This has been quite an interesting tale. But now it's time to return to Aporia. Speak with Rusano. Here we go. Why, Infinite Talo? Excuse me if I'm not my usual chipper self, but we have not been without our difficulties in your absence. You see, communication with the airship Professor Claudian commissioned for his search was lost some time ago, and now we have quite lost track of where he may be. What? And to make matters worse, MGT has just sent word of an unusually large amount of energy coming from somewhere within the ethereal sea. I was just on my way to the isoscope, in fact. Please, you must come with me. Oh, brilliant! Oh, okay. I can see that. That's a lot of ether. And that... Oh, fuck. Wait, what is that? Is it real? Why is that? Whenever danger visits the world, you're never far behind. Oh, for fuck's sake. Force or no. And you two, Professor Claudian's assistants, I take it. As you arrived before me, I take it you're involved in this. I would thank you to furnish me with an explanation. That's fucking Pandaemonium! While the research summary you submitted to the form gave us no cause of concern, these details are alarming. The professor's last message indicated he was on his way to Addis lab, but we know not whether he ever reached his destination. As a rash endeavour, even for Claudian, but he has ever allowed the thrill of discovery to cloud his better judgment. We have no recourse but to entreat its guard's aid in searching for him. As for that unsightly fortress which materialised in the ethereal sea, Pandaemonium was it. It cannot be left alone. For the time being, information regarding this matter must be strictly controlled so as to minimise panic. We will gather those with knowledge of the ethereal sea and continue monitoring it for further irregularities. You two, submit a detailed report to the forum at once. At present, we have far more questions than answers. Nevertheless, I would ask for your assistance at such a time that our investigation has concluded.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must apprise the forum of what has occurred here.
Just when we needed them most, Professor Claudian remains unaccounted for. He even brought the crystal with him. We're left with scarce few straws to grasp at. While I am but a lowly assistant, even I can see that our two current problems are likely related. The same party or phenomenon may be responsible for both. Conversely, I see now that my unexperienced imagination failed to do Pandaemonium's pitiless bias justice. I can only wonder, if the facility itself traversed the ages, did the creations within do the same? What are the keywords? But answers to these questions will come in time, I'm sure. For now, I must do as Master Fortuno asked and write that report. As for you, Taylor, pray get what rest of your responsibilities will allow. When next we call upon you, I wager we shall need you in prime condition.
Yeah, more than fucking probably. Right, before I bugger off. Right then, in that case, while I return to the Imperium, I am going to go to Twitch and see if I can find someone to raid. Because I would say I am good and fucking done for the night, and I need to get some food. Right, so 2 people going next, so... Right. Let's have a look, see who's going. Yep. Right. So I'm trying to figure out what... What is... Don't know what Listar's playing, but I suppose I shall find out. I'm gonna raid them. Raid Listar. Gonna raid as a goblin. Anyways, I would now say that the job is a good one. You guys have a lovely evening. Ta-ra.